You're back with The Nation. Our political commentator Colin James is joining us now from Wellington. Good morning, Colin. Thanks for joining us this morning. Kia ora. Now, I'm sure you listened to the Minister of the Environment, Amy Adams, at the top of the program and what she had to say about the reforms of the Resource Management Act. Let's just put this in context for a moment. Is the RMA a fundamental part of the country's legislation?
I think it is. It's a major act. And almost part of the Constitution, you could almost say. It rules how land is to be used, it affects property rights, it affects how we protect the environment and amenities and heritage. This is pretty important stuff.
What do you think?
So any big changes to the Act are clearly important changes in the way which we govern ourselves. OK, what do you think we learned then from Amy Adams this morning and what she had to say? Well, the important thing that she says, and most people would agree with this, is introducing more consistency and more efficiency into the operation of the Act. And there's even agreement, as she pointed out, from the Greens on aspects of that. There are some questions that local government asks about just how workable some of the proposals are, but by and large, most people would agree it needs to be more efficient, etc. But there's another dimension to this, which she didn't really canvass, and that is that the two bills so far, and this one's still to come, if you add them all up, and then you add the three involving local councils, this is introducing a greater emphasis on economic development than under the original Act. And that's a substantial change, and there's a lot of doubt about how that'll work through. And that's what Labor says, Colin, too. They have criticised it, saying it's gone from being a Resource Management Act and it's now a Development Act. So I guess some of the questions will be over whether it has an emphasis now on the economy, which clearly it does. Does that come at the expense, though, of the environment and our resources? Well, not necessarily. It really depends how it plays out in practice. And Bryce Wilkinson for the New Zealand Initiative is arguing the business case, which is that there should be a better balance between the focus on the effects on the environment, which was the principal focus of the original Act, and economic development, the well-being of New Zealanders, as he puts it. But there's considerable doubt on the other side of the argument, and Sir Geoffrey Palmer, who was the architect of the original bill that finished off by Simon Upton, so it's a cross-party bill, argues that it is a really significant change and that does diminish the protection of the environment and environmental values. And then local government is bothered, and it's said that it needs to be practicable, workable. It needs to ensure that decision making remains with communities. It needs to make sure that the proposed changes will not deliver the outcomes, that might not deliver the outcomes intended. And they want to work with the government in a more constructive way than hitherto. So that focuses on another dimension, that is the transfer of power, and you raised this in your interview, from local government, from local communities to central government. That's significant. Indeed, it is. Colin James, appreciate your time and your analysis this morning. Thank you.